So what we're going to try to show you today is doing a wheelie, but not only doing a wheelie, shifting gears through your wheelie. And there's a number of ways to do this, of course, as there is with almost everything. I'll say up front, I'm not a clutch drop wheelie guy. So I'll begin the wheelies without a clutch, and I will continue on to shift the gears without a clutch as well. To get started on the wheelie, I usually start off in second gear or third gear. You can do third gear in about the middle of the RPM range, 4K, let's say 4K. We're rocking what, 4100. I scoot up on the seat here, but the first thing I do is let off the throttle, and right after letting off the throttle, I'm going to weight shift back. I'm going to throw all my weight to the rear of the bike and simultaneously give a nice sharp throttle input to get that front wheel to come off the ground. So that's going to go something like this. You see the RPMs are, I don't know, 47. Let off, we'll weight shift, and the sharp throttle input will get that front wheel to come up really nicely. And I think I just shifted into third, so we can show you what that looks like in third gear if you want. So similar situation. It takes a little bit more weight shift, a little bit more you know, assertion with the throttle to get that front wheel to come off the ground in third gear, just due to the different gear ratio. So that'll get you to get that front wheel off the ground and hopefully get you to the balance point. So once you're up at that kind of balance point area, the engine really isn't going to have much load on it, so you're not going to be applying much torque to that back tire. And that's where shifting comes into play. Whenever you shift gears, like I said, I don't use the clutch whenever I'm in a wheelie doing this. So what that ends up looking like is, you know, the engine is more or less unloaded, you're at balance point, and you just let off the throttle a little bit to get the rest of the load off the engine, at which point it becomes very easy just to click it into the next gear without touching your clutch. So you can practice that without doing a wheelie. Let's demonstrate that. Gosh, I look like a goofball with this thing hanging out here. Okay, so what that looks like is you're in the wheelie, you're probably up here in the RPM somewhere, right? So whenever you shift, you just let off a little bit and slide it into the next gear, and it shouldn't jump on you, shouldn't do anything crazy. So here it is again. Okay, it jumped a little bit there, not quite as smooth as the first one, but even if it jumps a little bit, as long as you're not on the throttle, it's not going to do anything funny on you, man. It's just not. It's going to be smooth enough for you to recover and once again regain that kind of balance point area. Okay, so what that looks like in practice, it's going to go something like this. So you can see we shift the gear, it's nice and smooth. You just let off the throttle a little bit, click it up into that next gear. Nothing funny happens. Now we can go even further on the wheelie, click even more gears if we want. That was a pretty shitty start to that wheelie, but it is gusty. Kind of blowing around a little bit there. There's a guy working on a roof over here. So it gets a little bit funny to stabilize sometimes, and that wasn't a very good example, but that's all there is to it, man. You can keep it on going in through fifth gear if you want. So we're just going to do a wheelie just for the fun of it now. If you're going very fast when you let that front end down, it does kind of get squirrely, so be prepared for that. But that's really all there is to this, man. It's just, and it's probably really going to be about getting that shift to be nice and smooth, you know, and it's just going to be feeling where that engine is unloading and all that stuff. But it's really nothing crazy, nothing simple. It doesn't hurt your gearbox. Everything is totally fine. All you have to do from here, man, is just go out and practice. And like I said, I would do it in just that exact style. Work on getting that front end to come up, working on getting it to get to that balance point, and then from there it's just practicing without the wheelie, like feeling how to shift that gear, and then just putting it all together, and you should be just fine, having a blast doing these big wheelies, clicking the gears, going fast. yeah, just be very careful. Come out to the middle of nowhere. I don't mean to preach safety, but it's very important. So that's all I got, man. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you in the next one. Be safe out there.